Well, if you don't have to drive tonight, you probably want to just stay home because the rain, as you can see, making the commute really tough. Josh Hinkle is live out along I-35 with a look at the latest conditions there. Josh?
Yeah, Leslie, the rain finally, thankfully, has kind of let up a little bit here on I-35. We're up on MLK. You can see the traffic is moving pretty slowly here in the northbound lanes. It's a little better over there in the southbound lanes. People are luckily being very safe, very cautious because the road is still very slick because of all this water. It's not even half as bad as what we saw south further into town with water. This is a crossing near Oltorf, just by South Lamar. You can see the water was rising pretty close to the top of this bridge just a couple of hours ago. It has since closed because that water did end up going over the bridge. Over across town, south of Ben White, just off of South Congress on Wasson Road. This was a really bad crossing. They closed this one right away because the creek just started going straight over the bridge. You know, you don't want to drive across something like this because even just a few inches of water can sweep your car away, and you can see just how fast that water was rushing. Just making a suction right under that bridge, and if you get in that water, it's going to be very difficult to get out of. You know, another good piece of advice beyond these turn around, don't drown signs is to check out this website on your smartphone or your computer. This is atxfloods.com. Again, atxfloods.com. This is the city website that actually highlights all of the crossings that have closed because of flooding. It's very, very helpful before you get out there on the road so you can avoid a dangerous situation. We are live at MLK and I-35. Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
Josh, thanks. We are going to show the viewers that website you just mentioned, atxfloods.com, and show you some closings out there. Just in Old Spicewood Springs Road, there is a water crossing up there that is closed now. Another one down here, 12275 Cameron Road. There's water over the roadway there. And 10131 David Moore, a low water crossing also affected there. Let's go out live now south of where Josh was. This is at I-35 near Ben White, where, as you can see, traffic is getting along. Backed up, though, as it heads south there on I-35 near Ben White Boulevard.
All right, and more on the storm. The storm, of course, sent creeks over the road at several places in Travis County. Specifically, KXAN's Chris Sadeghi is following the crews who make sure the drivers avoid those flooded roads. Chris, what can you show us?
There's a few different tools that the city and county have to make sure people aren't trying to cross roads like Joe Tanner Lane, which is obviously under several inches of water. One of them starts early on. They're monitoring the maps, monitoring the technology over at CTEC. When they see that a low water crossing could be in some trouble, they'll flip on the lights. They can lower the crossing arm like you see here, and then they have crews on standby in a flood event who will go out and do things the old-fashioned way. They come out here, they make a determination, and if need be, they'll close down the road, put the big orange and white barricade out there. And I mentioned those crews on standby. They're working 12-hour on, 12-hour off shifts as long as required for this flood event. If you can look over here to the flood gauge, you can see this road right about between 1 and 2 feet of water. If you go by that flood gauge, it is starting to slow down a little bit, but the crews are out. They're going to the different water crossings like this across the city. They're looking at it with their eyeballs, and they'll also make the determination when to reopen the road. So they'll be on standby as long as need be, as long as the rain keeps falling. And a lot of them will be there, staying there, just to make sure nobody tries to go past these barricades. We're live near Oak Hill. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.